transform my life, and how do I become warrior of love. That was a biggie for me, actually, to embody that part. I'm gonna be talking also about the pillars that I created, that I realized that that I was using to transform my life, because that was very, very important. That's what I became, who I am now. I used to be very, very sick before. I had lupus, fibromyalgia, RA, depression, and then I even have uh, a different kind of sickness, migraines, etc., etc. And of course, I was taking all the medications and going with the doctors and so forth. But in reality, I was not getting better. I was actually getting worse, and that's what I wanted to talk with you. How do I actually became good, and I have not even taken any medication or anything at all. Well, about 15 years ago, I was living. Hi, Robbie. I was living. Thank you for being here. I was living in so many pressure. I was really living under a lot of stress in in the life that I have chosen. Then in that time, that it got me really sick. Yes, sickness can get you sick. Pressure can get you sick, and yes, stress, and when you're not loving yourself, when you're not coherent and so forth. That's what it got me truly sick, that I was really not doing better. I was just getting worse. And the last sickness, when I was having epilepsy, and I was depending all my life in someone else to actually, I can't even stay by myself. I couldn't drive, etc., because I was having these weird attacks. That's when I realized if I didn't did any something, it was just gonna, how it was gonna end. And that was 15, close to 15 years ago. Well, I when I started all this thing, so I start my process. My process actually started 5 years ago. I learned to, I have provoked myself all this sickness because it was easier for me to be sick and to try to leave this plane, that actually not doing my personal work. I was not being coherent with myself. I wanted to be fine. I was saying to everybody, that's why I was going with the doctors, that's why I was taking the medications and so forth. But in reality, I was continuing emotionally living exactly the same way I was living before. And that would not actually was gonna take me anywhere, because I was still living under stress. I was still living under fear. I was still lying to myself, and I was not being coherent. And one of my first pillars that I work on with with myself, to transform myself. And I start. Then I went to the choice one day, that when I was already sick and tired, that I was depending my life in my ex husband. I was depending completely how that drive me to take me. Someone has to be with me all the time and so forth, because I might have an epilepsy, an attack. That's when I started getting really bored of myself. I was battling with that for in that time for almost 10 years, and the pain, the energy, and so forth. It was just horrible. And one night I decided that I wanted to so much to change to a different dimension, to a different reality, because my reality, it was really bad, and it was not getting better. It was actually getting worse. So what I did, I went to sleep that night, and some people can call it praying or whatever, but I did pray or beg or say to the universe to please take me to a different dimension, a different reality. And in my dream, hey Trish, and I'm in reality, that's when I start realizing that actually I can, they took me, my higher self, that I didn't knew then that it was my higher self, took me to a precipice. And they tell me, okay, do you want to change to a different reality? You just have to jump into this precipice that it was dark. And I had the old program that if you die in your dreams, you're never gonna get up. But I was so tired and so ready that I just opened my arms and jumped. I totally surrendered to the change because I could not live in that situation anymore. That was close to 5 years ago. When I wake up in my bed and everything was different. Everything changed for me. After that, I started working with myself. I started taking classes and I started loving my for how to love myself, how to forgive myself, and so forth. In the first classes that I took, that was first I was already in that time already Reiki, but Reiki was not getting me better. Actually, it was getting worse. It was not the Reiki was actually gonna get me better. It was not even all the books that I can read or all the people I can talk. I was needing to do the work. I couldn't only keep it in my mind. I was needing to do the work. Well, in that time, I took two master classes to learn how to manage energy, how to be starting to become responsible, to stop playing the role of victim, and I'm becoming more coherent with myself. Again, one of my first pillars that I teach now. And then after that, yes, I took NLP, I took multidimensional energy work, I took life coaching, I took also BQH, that's hypnotherapy, also. And I obviously, all those were just tools that they were teaching me how to work with myself. I came to understand in that moment that I was a channeler, that I've always been a channeler. As an artist, you can see in my paintings and you read my poetry that is in Spanish, the majority, that I was channeling all the time. And I was being guided, but I was not listening. Hey, Dante. Oh, I'm so glad to see you. But so I did not understand that I was channeling since I am a teenager that I have memory. And because when I was little, of course, I had my imaginary friends, but that's what I call imaginary friends. But when I started becoming a poet and writing my poetry was when I was a teenager. Until finally hit me when I was so sick and trying to heal myself that actually I was doing the that I was channeling. When that's when I start communicating with my higher self in reality. That's when I start understanding that we all are a special. I am not more special than any one of you. The only thing is I start working with myself and I start loving myself and forgiving myself for all the mistakes that I have done. That was my second pillar, the self-love and self-compassion. Why? Because if we don't have that, if we don't forgive ourselves and we understand that everything that has happened to us, everything, it's just been lessons. Lessons to make us a better human beings. Lessons to actually to learn different things that we were needing. I will not change any of my past, any of those lessons to in my present. I will not do that because I will not be who I am. And I'm so thankful for everything that it had happened to me because it made me be who I am. Hola, hola Anita. So this was very important in the process of healing myself. And I wanted to share that with you. And the last one, my last pillar is empowerment. In the empowerment, I came to understand that I wanted power. Power because I wanted to control everybody. I wanted to control the rest of the people. When I pray for power. I was so wrong. I just was needing to be empowered. Why? Because the empower, I will control how I react to the problems. The problems are always going to exist. We can't control how other people react, how other people act, but we can control how we react to the other people or to the problems that we have. That's what is going to make us actually the real change, the real transformation. And I wanted to share this with you because that's what I teach. I have groups of people that I teach in English or Spanish. I also teach in one-on-one coaching, one-on-one, and I also do therapies. Why? Because I had this experience that I changed my life, and I'm truly a believer that anyone can change their life if they want to. No one can be forced to this. If they told me this 10 years ago that I can become who I become now, I would not believe it. I did not believe enough in myself. I believe in everybody else, but not in me. Now I do believe in myself. Now I know who I am. And I'm always being supportive of everybody so they can believe in themselves. And I didn't know that was going to be my path now, but it is. Now I can help you to start believing in yourself, to start loving yourself, and start forgiving and seeing, observing the things in a different way. So you can learn from all the mistakes that you did, and you're going to become, and you're going to say the same, probably the same thing as I did. I will not change anything because I will not be who I am now. Okay, let me check the comments here. Oh, thank you for being here, Trish. Oh, Dante, my brother, thank you for being here. Yes, all these tools were so useful, and they just helped me to understand how to use it with myself, and that's why I can use it with other ones. Uh, uh, yes, I find the I am presence, because if I did not find the I am presence, I could not change myself. I'm so glad that I actually, when you go deep inside of yourself, you can find that presence inside of you. When you take the layers of all the programs and you start going deep inside to the core, that's where the I am presence, or your divine presence, however you want to call it. And the only way to get there is through love. And thank you, Trish. Thank you for. I am also proud of myself, because if I didn't do that, I would still be sick, feeling sorry, playing the role of victim. People played so many games to control others, and they can use it in many ways. By the victimhood is a big one from everybody, or feeling, or by fear, like the narcissist, and be careful with the gaslighters. Those are narcissists basically, and it's hereditary, and it's not because you were it's in your blood. It's because it's a something that we learn from our parents or grandparents, some people that actually had raised us. And guess what? And they had kids, and I was one of them. When I have kids, when I had my young kids, I was that narcissist, and I'm so sorry for my kids because I actually did that to them. It took me a lot to actually do that change and understand how selfish I was doing it, how selfish I was with everybody. Even if I was trying to other people, trying to help them to believe in themselves, with my own family, I was being that narcissist. So that created a lot of emotional guilt that I would have to forgive myself. And of course, I have asked for forgiveness to my kids, because those are the ones that for me are the more important thing in the world. And as a mother, you never want to hurt your kids, but you do it because you don't know it. We don't know that this has been coming from generations and generations, and our parents did not know better. Like I did not knew better before. Now I do. Now if I do it, I know if I'm playing a game, what game I'm playing, and if I wanted to participate in the game of others too. So you can get that empowerment back, all that is truly you. And it's up to personal work. That's the only way you can do it. And this is the first steps. So if you're interested in any of my classes or in any of my therapies on coaching one-on-one, just send me a message, and I will be more than happy to help you and show you how I did it, how I heal myself, emotionally, physically, and spiritually and mentally. Okay? Thank you for watching me, guys. Thank you so much. I have a community that we're so supported, and we're so loving, and I'm so thankful for that too. And I thank you for each one of the persons that have helped me in my healing process. I have many healers also that have helped me, and I have helped others too. And this feels good. This feels fine. And Trish was one of them. In fact, Regina, I have many, 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 many from New Zealand, and now that we can work online, oh my God, the world is the limit for now. And I will change soon, hopefully. I love you. And that's why I become the warrior of love. I'm Monica Ramirez, warrior of love. And I'm here to help. And I'm here to serve with love and compassion. Take care, everybody. Thank you.